right, and welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. We have another Nexus Gaming Series matchup on our hands. I am Bahamut, your caster. Welcome. I already see everybody populating in chat. How you guys doing? Thanks for coming out. On the left-hand side, we are going to... All right, Victor VU Music, thank you so much for the follow. OSD will be on our left-hand side, Order of the Sleeping Dragon. We're going to abbreviate it because it doesn't fit. And then Sponsored by Rory will be on our right. So, Order of the Sleeping Dragon won the coin toss. They banned out Tomb. Sponsored by Rory, they banned out Cursed Hollow. We're going to be going to Dragonshire first. That is the pick for the members of Order of the Sleeping Dragon, giving the first pick over to Sponsored by Rory. Next map, though, is going to be Brax's Holdout. So, oof. A nice matchup we have here, and I'm really excited about this. Dragonshire, I haven't casted in actually a little bit. I'm looking at my notepad here. I can't even see in the last like 4 games that I've casted it, I think. So this is exciting. If they don't plan on taking it on the side of Sponsored by Rory, I really think that they should either pick up the Dahaka or ban it out. Me personally, I just think he's such a strong hero on a map like this, so definitely getting rid of that is pretty powerful for them. But they're going to go ahead and get rid of the Genji. Still, not a bad idea at all. Ever have Dogfish Head? It's OP. Yes, I have had Dogfish Head. It is very good. And also, hi, Ragnarok. Thank you for swinging by. All right, so this is going to be also... Ooh, Gray main ban. Okay. Going to get rid of the... He's strong in the fight. He's strong on wave clear, strong for camps. Overall, I mean, he's a great hero. I absolutely like that ban if they don't think that they're going to be able to get it. And first pick, I could see it happening. Now, we are going to note really quickly, Blaze is banned. They're making a big gesture out of this first pick. The first pick of the 2018 NGS draft. Okay, all right. This is going on for quite a bit. What's our first pick? Realistically, a lot of people tend to pick up their tank in this slot. It's just kind of a good start. You can lock in something strong. And ETC, not a horrible idea. He works with most compositions, but as I was talking with... I think it was Derek and Hedgie earlier today. We were just talking about tanks and overall and the Tyrael rework and how he's going to be kind of implemented. And we were kind of talking about my own hero league a little bit and how, you know, my standard is like I go to ETC. Like that's my good tank I can you know stay on and be comfortable with. But, you know, it's one of those things like he's kind of in the middle. Like it's starting to become that argument of like there are some other tanks who with some of these newer heroes synergize a little bit more. So we'll see that as this progresses. But Lucio being picked up here on the side of OSD, not a bad idea at all. Very strong hero. We already saw the stats being tweeted out today from the NGS Twitter, which, by the way, if you don't follow that, go ahead and do that because they often retweet pretty much every caster who tweets out that they're going live. So make sure you go ahead and follow that too. It's a wonderful tool. All right. But Hanzo going to be picked up with the Lucio. We already have people cheering in chat for both teams. I like this. Recyclic, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. On the right-hand side, though, these next 2 picks before we go into the ban phase, I would realistically think that they're going to go for maybe a range damage and then their healer. I think Stukov is a phenomenal pick on this map. You can go with the... Rhaegar as well, but with the ETC pickup, I'm actually thinking you could go Uther in this situation. He would be really strong in the fact that you could Divine Mosh, something that we've seen back in, I mean, forever ago, but it works, and Divine Shield can work with a few other people's, you know, if you want to go Malthael on a map like this, Dragonshire, I think is pretty powerful. So, things to consider, but they're going to go for the Tassadar, and do we have a ooh. We have a Vala. Okay. In the past, I had known one of the players who's playing for Sponsored by Rory. Played some really good tracers. So, and some terrifying tracers. So let's I'm curious to see if they're going to be pulling that out or if it's just going to be this Vala Tassadar combination. On the left-hand side, though, OSD is going to have this ban right now, and realistically, looking at their draft, they show this Tassadar so early that just focusing another healer is going to be very strong. Stukov, Malfurion, I like the kind of the the kind of the swap. Malfurion, I haven't, like, I'm not a support main, so I'm not, like, I don't know a huge amount of the differences of with the new Malfurion kit and how viable he is within a team. He feels strong to be supported by. I've played with them, and they, you know, I feel good as a tank or, you know, something as a ranged assassin. I can't do melee. I get too nervous. So much pressure. But I like the idea of the Stukov band here. He has a lot of good control in this map. The Pustule's really good for the fight. There's the Flailing Swipe for the disengage. Overall, I really like that, and it looks like they'll be fine with dealing with Malfurion if they do end up going that route on the side of Sponsored by Rory. But at the same time, Sponsored by Rory will be banning out that Sonya, so that kind of limits the solo lane options a little bit on the side of OSD, but at the same time, we have seen in the Division B finals, there is the you know, the solo lane god that he was called. So Corgi Booty, I mean, he's pulled out some interesting things, and this is a map where you can actually see Samuro. So I'm wondering if they actually pull that out here. We'll see down the road, but they do pick up this Li Ming. I do like that. A lot of good poke resets on some of your squishier targets right now, because that means that they are going to be picking up, you know, another support, which, you know, they don't have the biggest health pools. And a Nubrek with it. Okay. I like the Nubrek. He's got good engage onto the shrines. He's got a good, I mean, he's just got so many stuns, and then the web wrap is huge for a team. You web wrap that ETC, and that's it. You just dive on the rest of the team. You get resets with Li Ming. Hanzo's just probably stunned out the entire team with Dragon Strike, I believe. Well, the one thing I didn't do, though. Make sure I... Cool. All right, these last two picks, though, on the side of Sponsored by Rory, as I said, they're going to need another support. Malfurion could be an option. I personally like the Rhaegar. Still, though, Uther... I like the Uther, but then I feel like Web Wrap can just mess up what... Well... Huh. Ooh. I'm going to be picking up a Zagara for the solo lane. Yo, that skin! And the portrait for that is really cool, too. I really, really like that. If Sponsored by Rory starts losing, make sure you keep saying that how they wouldn't have if their captain was there. Ouch, 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 ouch. All right, but in this last slot on the side of Order of the Sleeping Dragon, they still need something for their solo lane. I like the idea of the Malthael. I'm curious, do they go something a little bit weird, or do they go something a little bit more standard? Because, like, Zool into this? I mean, like, you could go Zool into this easily. Now, I'm really, really excited to be casting brand new Tyrael, but I have to slightly just razz them on the side of OSD. I need that new Tyrael skin. Like, I need to see the new Tyrael skin with the new, like, you know what? It's enough that we get to see the new kit. I'm excited about that. Argy Hots! Just you wait, Argy Hots. Just you wait. You're going to be getting that Tyrael. All right, let's go ahead and get into this game number 1 between Order of the Sleeping Dragon and Sponsored by Rory. All right, let's get into this. On the left-hand side, we are going to be having Order of the Sleeping Dragons with Dawning on that Li Ming. Kina's going to be playing the Lucio we have Dami, or excuse me, Dami, not Dami. Dami is going to be on the Anubrak, Corgi Booty going to be on that brand new Tyrael, and Silent Shoe will be rounding it out on the Hanzo. On the right-hand side, we are going to have sponsored by Rory with Aura going to be playing the Zagara, Coldam going to be on that Tassadar, Kooks on the ETC, DB Smiley on that Mecha Rhaegar, and then we have Turtles on the Vala. So it looks like Tyrael's going to be going into Regeneration Globe. I haven't honestly read through these talents yet, so I'm going to be kind of peeking at these as we go throughout this match. But either way, let's get into this. We are going to have a bunch of sprays going to be coming out. And the one thing I want to actually take a peek at is what he's taking at level 1 here, so we can just show, at least for stream, what the talent is and what it does. But overall, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I've been hearing the way that I've been hearing people talk about him. He'd work in the solo lane really, really well. As well as, I mean, he can solo lane and main tank, but we'll see. I'm really curious. At this point, though, starting off in this match, we're going to have Order of the Sleeping Dragon going to be making this safe rotation down at the bottom, but the members of Sponsored by Rory are going to make these, aggressive or just at least fast rotations right now. Pick up these experience and just rotate down. Looks like we do have Dami coming down just to pick up that little bit more that's going to be hitting the gate. Peeking into top, it looks like it's been even matched. It's pretty even between Corgi Booty and Aura. We'll see as that progresses. But right now, where all the fun's going to be is just in these rotations. Maybe we'll get a pick here, but it doesn't look like it's going to be happening. We actually have DB Smiley going ahead and picking up their siege camp. That should time out pretty well with the shrines. Just about, kind of. But it will give them a little bit of a positional advantage on the side of OSD. They're going to be able to get down here, activate the bottom shrine, top, and then they already have a Nubrak in mid. Are they able to pick this up? That's the big thing. If he can clear that and just get to it. Are we going to see the first? No, Turtle should have the delay on this. There will be the multi-shot that does go out from Turtles, which will delay that out for a bit. She probably will be staying in that lane. Or going to go ahead and try and cap this top from Corgi Booty, who's probably going to dive in with the Eldruin's Might. Peeking down at the bottom, we have a little bit of a fight happening here, at least the back and forth, especially with that bruiser, or excuse me, that siege camp just going to be helping that wave push up a little bit faster. Who's going to go ahead and stall this out, or at least grab the point for now, which will be allowing Vala to rotate down into the bottom lane, hopefully helping the team get a pick here. Nubrak should try and do the same, but at the same time, they do want to make sure that they do get that mid lane soak. So with that, it's kind of that 50-50. They're going to get pushed in a little bit here, but they're also going to be able to... Ooh, actually, huge slide coming out from ETC there. Kina taking quite a bit of damage. Will he be able to get through the wall? And it won't be enough. That's going to be first kill of the game, going over to the members of Sponsored by Rory. Looks like we're going to have a rotation out of the members of Sponsored by Rory into this mid lane. Excuse me, in the top lane. Just missing that. Zagara will be falling to the Tyrael. Just peeking at some of those. Let's take a peek at some of that hero damage. Tyrael having the highest hero damage on his team, but Dawning in a bad position in bottom. Going to get caught out, much like the Lucio, by that multi-shot. And it looks like they will be holding this over in bottom. They do pick up the siege camp, and they're going to be rotating in with the Lucio and Hanzo, but at this time they're going to need a few more members if they realistically want to take this back. And this will be pushed up quite a bit. We have Kina taking quite a bit of damage. He's a little far out, but Kooks is on the other side of this wall, and it looks like they are able to burn this down. And he's able to get out without a problem. Nope, there's going to be a problem. They will lose their ETC, and Dami is going to be coming down here, stunning out quite a few of the members. We do have Tassadar currently leaving Turtles in a bad spot. Going to get booped away, and that will be Vala falling as well. So they get a couple picks here on the side of Order of the Sleeping Dragon, and they start to change the pace of this in a little bit more in their favor. That one talent is great if he's going solo lane. Which, yeah, I mean, he definitely is going solo lane. Bound by Law is going to be the one that he went for at level 4 there, just for the audience if they are curious. I'm still learning it myself, and it just really quickly, he's going to be going for Reciprocate, I believe. Mids, though, is still going to be held out by a Nubrak, and it looks like Rhaegar at this time. Potentially going to be, there's going to be a rotation between both of them, and... realistically, I don't think they're going to be able to get a kill on a Silent Shoe, but a little bit of damage is going to be going out. Actually, ETC going to be diving in here, going to get a nice disrupt, but I don't think it's going to be enough. With 50 health, able to get out. Silent Shoe going to be able to just poke out a little bit more with those arrows, but it's not going to be enough. They will capture this over, but no one's going to be present for the actual Dragonite pickup. So that's just going to be another back and forth. And this bottom lane is really starting to go over in favor of the members of Sponsored by Rory. They're going to be able to get... the more that they push this back, it's huge for them because there's a further retreat path on the side of OSD. And, you know, this is opened up for themselves on the other side. But once you get that wells, that's when it becomes a little bit difficult. We have a rotation here from Hanubarak, and he's going to dive in. Kook's going to be trying to get out, but he's going to be actually stunned on his power slide out. That will be the ETC falling here. We do have Turtles taking quite a bit of damage, but it looks like with the 2 healers, they're still going to try and stay down here and poke out a little bit. Peeking up into that top lane, Tyrael is going to be diving onto that and just trying to pick up that point so those members can potentially grab this Dragonite. But with that, they're going to say, you know what, we'll rotate our entire team, or at least what we have right now, to try and stop this mid capture. And Dammy's going to do a pretty good job of just clearing that out and is still soaking the experience. DB Smiley in a potentially bad spot. Lucio trying to get that angle to get that boop back into the friendly team, but it's not going to be happening. Kook's back now because of the low death timers. Not going to be that big of a deal, and they still save out the well, but they're definitely going to be trying to get that. Vala is actually going to be picked off there. Apologize. Going to be picked off in top lane against the Hanubarak. What changed with Tyrael that it's just like he's literally just like I have to like literally watch Tyrael for potential picks now. Just peeking at some of that damage as well really quickly. Still just doing work up there. Now we do have 10s achieved for both teams. We do have that Dragon Strike from the Hanzo. There will be the Sanctification on from the Tyrael, Web Ref from the Hanubarak, Wave of Force from the Li Ming, and there will be Break It Down from the Lucio. But that's followed up by the Ancestral Healing, the Nidus Network, Rain of Vengeance, Stage Dive actually, and we're not going to be having Force Well, we're going to be having the Archon form. So they grab Dragonite on the side of OSD, and it's very perfect for their name. They go ahead and they also work down this bottom fort. Dragonite at about half health. Still, they also have the Hanubarak in it too, so even if it does die in a bad spot, they do have that stun, that dive out, so it won't be that big of a deal. They will rotate, though, into mid, and Zagara in a potential bad spot. Now, it looks like it's just going to be chased by the Lucy. I don't think they're going to be following this up. They will be trying to get rid of some of those Nidus ports, as the rest of the team will rotate up. I don't think they really realistically could have pushed. They're just kind of doing the safe thing here and just having the Dragonite backing off into the team and just playing a little safe here, but Corgi Booty in a potentially bad spot. You're going to have that Eldruin's Might out of there without a problem. Probably will rotate back into that top lane. But at this time, with the lanes, you know, with everyone kind of in this weird standstill, they should be picking up some of these camps. There's definitely a lot of time as they're just kind of finding their ways back into the lane. So DB Smiley going to be doing exactly that. They're going to be doing, on the side of OSD, they're going to be picking up this Bruiser camp. I wouldn't be too surprised to see them rotate down into that Siege camp. And then the only thing is if there's going to be a contest over the bottom Siege Bruiser camp, but it's typically like a camp that I don't see a lot of teams like pick up or prioritize. It's mostly like, oh, we've got advantage, it's on the map, let's grab it. Or like in one of these situations, you can potentially risk it. A little risky play, yes, exactly. But with some of the teams showing up down here, they're going to try and go for a kill. And looks like DB Smiley is the target of that. They're going to go ahead and get that Dragon Sight stun in there. The web wrap does go out onto the ETC, separating the team away. DB Smiley trying to get out of here. The stun will go out, and they're going to go ahead and get that pick. Now, ETC just getting out of that web wrap. They're going to turn around and try and dive onto him, but it looks like he did go for that crowd surfer talent at 4, so he will be able to slide through that wall without a problem. But with that pickup onto the Rhaegar, they go ahead and they just move down onto this camp, and that will be just a little bit more pressure in this bottom lane. And this is what I had kind of noted a little bit before the last Dragonite is this pressure of how far you can actually be and how far you have to retreat to. So the fact that they got that bottom fort with the Dragonite is huge on the side of OSD, because you saw their chase path was basically to keep front gate. So a lot of big things that they've done on the side of OSD. I really like what they've done so far with this map and in this game. Now, on the side of Sponsored by Rory, they are just barely behind. Zagar getting bullied a little bit in top, but you can see getting a decent amount of the creep spread out here, so you can see some of these rotations as well as across the map, at least on the friendly side here. And they're just going to let that camp push up. They'll go ahead and just kind of side soak this for this 13 right here. And, I mean, if they can pick up the Dragonite or at least hold over 1 point, maybe get a pick off, that can shift the momentum in their favor. But at this time, it's kind of, well, I was going to say that, you know, the pacing's in favor of OSD, but at this time, with all the camps kind of cleared out, everyone's really just rotating and just trying to find where they want to be with their team, it kind of seems. Because it's like the perfect time to fight, but no one really wants to. I don't know what they're going to be trying to do here. I mean, they're just positioning a lot of members into mid on the side of OSD. There looks like Dammy is going to be in bottom. Corgi Booty going to dive down here as well. A bunch of damage going to be going on to a couple of these members. Web Rep does go out onto the ETC. Corgi Booty diving onto that point, but it looks like Turtles was in position for it, but going to be bullied by Kina and Silent Shoe there. The Rain of Vengeance does go out onto Kina, taking a little, actually, excuse me, quite a bit of damage. Especially with a couple of those members coming back now. Kook's going to be chased by a couple of these members, but Corgi Booty really wants that kill. Not going to be happening. Looks like they're going to go ahead and have to back off. By the way, also just noting really quickly, the party mix is just finishing for the Lucio, so he does have that bigger area for healing. Now at this point, Tiro will rotate up into the top lane. We'll go ahead and pick up, I was going to say, just pick up the shrine there, so at least the rest of the team, which is currently positioned in mid, they can go ahead and try and grab this. Also, if they end up getting someone forced into bottom. Now, the other thing to note here is break it down. Oh my god, never mind. I was gonna say Dammy is taking quite a bit of damage. Does have that dive out. Corgi Booty gonna rotate into the team here, gonna dive in and back out, just kind of pulling them away back into lane. It seems. I'm not too sure, but they're falling very low on the side of OSD, and they realistically just need to get a little bit of health back up and they can go in for this fight. But overall, they're staying so healthy on the side of Sponsored by Rory that they can't get into this lane. So the deny from the members of Sponsored by Rory is really, really strong here, and I like what they're doing. At the same time, they're going to go ahead and say, you're going to deny us this. We'll go ahead and we'll just put some lane pressure. They pick up this camp. They also see that the Zagar has gone into bottom. The web rep does go out onto the ETC. So it looks like they do want to just prioritize that. There is the slowing totem that does go out. The burrow doesn't connect. The cleanse is there. We have an ancestral healing that is available, but it looks like he's slowly getting out of range. We do have Corgi Booty coming down into this fight. Dawning gonna get stage dove by ETC, but it won't connect. We currently have Corgi Booty gonna be going around the fight. Kooks looks like he is in a bad spot, gonna get stunned out and will be falling. Turtle's going to be the next one. They start to chase because those resets for Li Ming are, this is the fight that they want on the side of OSD. They can get a couple of these resets, they can chase, and they can chase for more kills. But it looks like they'll just go ahead, they'll break from that. Dammy will go down here and pick up the shrine. They're going to go ahead and throw, I'm assuming, Corgi Booty into the Dragonite and work down the mid lane. I would soon best guess. They're already starting to take it down with the members that are already present. So 16s are just achievable on the side, or just in grass on the side of Sponsored by Rory. But with the Dragonite here, they do need to play a little bit safe, so they're going to be playing closer to their gates and their fortifications and everything. So getting that 16 is a little bit hard for them. Now at this time, we do have the Dragonite currently pushing up into the lane, going to get some of that, a little bit of damage out with also the siege camp that was timed out very well. Overall, I mean, this is a very good defense on the side of Sponsored by Rory. They're going to be picking up 16s. They delayed this out just perfectly. Zagara is back, so they can definitely take a fight now. They might be able to save their keep here. It just really depends if they can get some of the damage onto this Dragonite, and as well, I mean, the kick away onto Turtles every time is pretty big for the members of OSD because it just buys them that burst to come out. But it looks like Tassadar will be the first one to fall from Hanzo there. And it looks like they do get that keep. And the web wrap does go out from a Nubrak, Corgi Booty, and the rest of the team just kind of postured around him. The cleanse does go out, but he's currently being melted. The ancestral does connect. There is the dive through Turtles. She will be falling. And it looks like Corgi Booty's already going to be diving onto the core. They're going to... No? Okay. He yelled Druins in and then came back out. Looks like there will be a stage dive in from Kooks there. Looks like they're starting to turn this around, though, on the side of Sponsored by Rory. Kina taking quite a bit of damage. Going to have to go into the back of that line there. Kooks not in the best shape for health right now. The Sanctification does come out, and they start to attack the core. They're just currently saying ignore the team, go for the core. They get the stun out. Looks like Damie will... Ooh, Break It Down is used as well, and this might be just enough what they need, and they burn down the core. It's going to be game number 1 going over to OSD. GG, well played. Right, let's get going into game number 2 here. We're going to be going into So excited. So excited. Your emote got approved. Hey, congratulations. Good for you, Murda. Best emote. The Smithel emotes. All right, but we are going into Braxis Holdout with one, probably the best soundtrack for draft. And two, ooh, wow, they're going to be going ahead and just, they're hovering Sylvanas already on the side of OSD. And Bad Caster is bad. He doesn't update scores. There we go. All right, so Sylvanas going to be banned out here at the start of this match. Not a bad idea. It is known that one of the sponsored by Rory players does play Sylvanas. So it's not a bad idea. She's strong right now. She works on this map. I mean, it's a nice strong band. Also, if you want to pick up that Tyrael again, this is the time to do it. Unless they're trying to ban out something specific against your team, then. Also, the big question is if we're going to be seeing anything interesting out of these teams on Braxis Holdout here. I mean, we often see, you know, there's some Genji stuff that we do see. He does make pretty good rotations. Hanzo is seeming to be a priority within a lot of drafts. Murden often is pretty powerful here. Oh, it's my pleasure. I absolutely no, this is a blast for me to cast. The one guy that picks whose name escapes me. I'm confused for Psychic. Are you talking about Tyrael 13 is incredible. Are you talking about the wormhole one? Or are you talking about the Holy Ground? Because I would say Holy Ground, then you just double that into the ooh. Hanzo ban. Interesting. Vision scatter area. I mean, he was really strong in that last match. I will say that. So banning him out is not a bad idea. But it looks like we're going to be getting into... We'll get into the rest of this. Well, we'll get into the start of this draft here. So we do have first pick on the side of Order of the Sleeping Dragon. I don't know what they're going to prioritize here. I would honestly say just go for your... Ooh. They're going to get the Genji first. Okay. It's not a bad idea. He's really, really strong on this map. Why not? I was like, do you take your tank? Do you take your healer? Do you take your assassin? Like... It's so, I don't know, with first slot it's interesting. Hedgie, thanks for swinging by. How you doing? I don't know, it's just really important. Like we saw in the last game, there was an early priority on that ETC, which, you know, we made some phenomenal plays. Just unfortunately, just they kept diving him and just blowing him up, and then so much of the team fight was lost without that ATC, which was so hard. But this Genji pickup is not a bad idea. These teams. All right, so we're going to be going ahead and getting the Greymane and the Sonya. Sonya's strong in the solo lane. I like that pickup right there. Greymane, great for the 4-man, as well as just the dive, the blow-up. He works with many compositions, so I absolutely like this pickup. Before we go into the ban phase, I mean, realistically, they're going to get a tank or a healer banned out against them, but we'll see. We'll talk about that in a minute. Let's get back over to the draft on the side of Order of the Sleeping Dragon, though. Stukov Tyrael? I just really like that Tyrael play that they had last game, so why not just pick it up right now before they go into the next ban phase? And then I just think Stukov's a really, really strong healer in himself, so I think that's a great combination. They're going to go for Murden. Okay. Gul'dan. Oh, not a bad idea at all. So the reason Murden's strong is, one, he has Dwarf Toss, which is just a great way to maneuver around the map, as well as just be in and out of fights. Avatar is really strong as well, but we have seen Haymaker here and there, so that's still an option to consider in this fight, especially on a very point control map. And also there is the factor of that boss. Haymaker can be useful. And just noting on the side of that boss too, we have the Gul'dan, who one provides another good boss control with that Horrify, as well as really, really good clear against the Zerg wave, as well as just poke, good wave clear. So overall, the Gul'dan, I'm not surprised coming through, especially on this map. Realistically, at least in my opinion, OSD is drafting a very strong composition for this map. Now, that's not to say the same on the side of Sponsored by Rory. We've only just seen 2 picks, and honestly, it's just a very strong solo laner and a very strong assassin, so you can't... They work on almost every map, so that's one of the things I can mostly just talk to. There's that Genji, a little bit of cheese with the boss. He has very good rotations, as I said. Murden helps with that as well. Gul'dan offers a lot to the boss control as well as wave clear and such. And at this point, Greymane and Sonya offer a very, very good horrifying, or terrifying actually. I shouldn't say horrifying with Gul'dan, but just. The dive that they currently have on the side of Sponsored by Rory can be very scary. I mean, Leap is an option. Greymane has dive. I wouldn't be too surprised to see them... Well, actually, I would prefer them to lean into it and then go into a dive composition and maybe pick up a Diablo here. And maybe they would be wanting to pick up their support with that. The Rhaegar is great in my opinion, but Stukov, once again... Stukov for Malfurion, I think, would be the priority with Lucio being out of draft at this point. Malfurion offering a lot of good zoning with the roots, but Stukov in tandem kind of offers the same thing. It's just the new way that Malfurion's healing mechanic works. It's not, I haven't fully just sat there and actually understood it. I just know that it heals me. So I know, Stukov spreading Pustule is really, really powerful, and especially on a map where you're 4-manning in bottom and solo laning in top. Definitely think that's strong for a team, but we'll see. I'm just the worst. I'm just the worst. I didn't even talk about it. So disappointed in myself. Well, the Cho'Gall. Now here's the question. Do they address their draft on the side of OSD to just basically punish that? And do they try and steal away the Ariel pickup here? Because Ariel does work with the Gul'dan, I do think. So it's not a bad swap out per se. But then do they go something percentage based like a Malthael, but then your solo lane just becomes a little... I don't know. I honestly that threw me for a loop. I don't know. Okay, so did you go for the Malthael and they pick up the Kharazim? I like the Kharazim. That was really smart. I do believe because it's seven-sided strike is percentile based damage, if I'm not mistaken. There's the Malfurion. It was between Malfurion. Ooh, actually, no, not there's the Malfurion. That's surprising. I would have thought they would have gone into the Ariel here. Watch that mecha skin. I don't think there's any banned skins. Twitch chat will let me know. Kaiser? How you doing, bud? Alright, let's get into this. The Cho'Gall from out of nowhere. All right, let's get into this. Game number 2 is going to be on Brax's Holdout. OSD on the left-hand side here. The Order of the Sleeping Dragons. We have Dawning on that Gul'dan. Kina will be on the Karazim. We have Silent Shoe on the Genji. Dami will be on the Muradin, and Corgi Booty gonna be on that Malthael. On the right-hand side, we have sponsored by Rory with Turtles on the Sonya. We have Coldam on the Greymane, DB Smiley on the Malfurion, and we have Kooks and Ara being Kuara. Not bad. That's probably easy to say during this match. Kuara going to be on that Cho'Gall. So let's go ahead and pull up some level 1 talents here, and let's take a peek. We actually have Karazim going into the damage build here. Malthael going to be taking that, I believe, on a Pale Horse. Yes. For that increased movement speed, that's going to be beneficial for him here. We have Muradin going in to the third wind at the start. This is going to be a nice benefit of extra health, you know, as a little bit more sustained for a map like this. Now we also have Dawning going into that Fell Flame, which at level 1 on the map like this is pretty powerful. It's easy to stack up as well. Now this time though, I mean, with the Cho'Gall and with this pressure, they're currently pushing into this bottom lane very hard, and just go ahead and actually Kina diving out here, trying to get some damage out onto a couple of the members. Silent Shoe going to be following up as well, taking quite a bit of damage though. Beacons are going to be starting to charge up in the next 25 seconds here, so that's pretty well timed on this, pretty well maintained, at least for bottom lane for the members of Sponsored by Rory. They're playing a very, very aggressive... This composition is just so aggressive, and the thing is, it only gets more difficult to deal with, and I'm worried for some of the members of OSD, but we will see as this goes on, because we also have to consider the Malthael here. We do have the dive in from Silent Shoe onto DB Smiley. It looks like he is getting the refraction, but there's going to be that Gul'dan's kill stealing there. Dami taking so much damage, going to be not making it out of there. They will be losing that member. In top lane, Corgi Booty going up against Turtles here, and it looks like with that percentile based, it's going to be hurting Turtles there quite a bit. Bottom's going to be held over, though, by Kuara. And overall, I mean, they just have to wait for their Karazim and their Muradin to get back. I believe Karazim went back for mana there. And it looks like Corgi Booty is just going to be holding over in top, as well as just keeping Turtles pushed back here. But they're playing this... I like what Sonya's doing here, is just playing the safe route, and just, you know, you don't need to go out and, you know, fight in the lane. Just let it come to you. Get your damage out. As long as you're soaking that experience, that's the big thing. Dami going to be going ahead and jumping onto this point, and it looks like they're going to be holding this over, but the members of the team are going to be diving in as well. DB Smiley, the target, once again, going to be taking quite a bit of damage, and Kuara left alone without a healer here, but does have that self-sustain and quite a big health pool. Dami is going to be taking as much damage as he can before getting out of there. And it looks like they will stop that charge at 32%. And at the same time, they're going to be just slowly poking these members down. And Malfurion is back at this time, so DB Smiley is going to be rotating back into the lane just to fight them here. But at this time, this is the advantage they got to take, so they're going to go ahead, jump onto this point, make sure that they get a little bit more charge. We actually have Silent Shoe diving out onto Coldam there, trying to get some damage out, but it might be his own undoing. The dive in from Kuara will be the kill on a Silent Shoe, and they're going to be... They got, I think, like a 2% charge there, and I think Sonya might have stopped it. But at this time, they swap it over, and it looks like Sponsored by Rory will be picking up the charge here. 7-sided is percentile base. Yes, I believe it's 7% per hit, but targets are the highest health player. Psychic, I do believe you are correct in that. Thank you also. In bottom lane, we do have a siege still happening. I mean, they're opening this up quite a bit. Now, this isn't the Zerg wave for them, but next wave will be, and it's only going to get more and more powerful. So, of course, having that open is pretty beneficial here. But Silent Shoe back from death. They're going to let them siege here a little bit. Dami is going to be jumping onto this point, going to be stopping, or at least trying to stop the charge. Looks like Malthael didn't top, but it's Greymane going to be falling so quickly there from the just all the burst damage that came up between Silent Shoe and Kina there, as well as, I mean, you know, Dawning just, you know, poking there with all that Fell Flame and Corrupt. But overall, I mean, they're just going to be fighting back and forth on this point. They're going to have to back off. It looks like Kina really can't sustain through all of that, at least for Dawning there. So, or excuse me, for Dami. And Rhymeson, thank you so much for the 100 bits there. I'll redo it after the after the match is over, but I appreciate it. I just have the alerts turned off during casting. So it looks like they're going to go ahead and grab this bottom point, but it looks like top has been grabbed already, but so much damage is going to be going on to Kuara, and it looks like they do get that final dash, and Karazim will be picking up that kill, and that is huge for the members of OSD. They're going to already go ahead, and you see Silent Shoe making this quick rotation. This is what I was talking about in draft. Is he going to do it? Or are they going to be trying to see if maybe they can catch them as they're rotating out of the engagement? I don't know. No, they play it safe. They hold their abilities. They don't need to use them, so they're not going to dive in. Looks like Karazim and Gul'dan will go ahead and pick up this camp, but DB Smiley taking a risky play here, going to be canceling that out. Doesn't look like, oh, this is, so there's the jump, and Silent, they're not going to be able to chase him down. He does have that gate there, so able to make that rotation out. But at this time, we do have a couple of the members rotating in. Kuara is back, and the charge is currently going over in favor of OSD, but it looks like it's going to be quickly snuffed out at 78%, while they, the Cho'Gall is back, and just everyone back in place, ready to go ahead and pick up another fight in bottom. And this isn't, this is where things get interesting, because we're in that, getting to that mid part of the game where a lot of these big fights are going to be, do they get the healer? Do they get the Cho'Gall? I mean, this is the nerve-wracking part, because Cho'Gall, he blows up, and it's a bit terrifying, and 10 is a nice big power spike for him, but at the same time to consider, there are a lot of things that they got on the side of OSD that they can definitely counteract with. So we'll see as this game progresses. But at this time, we do have this camp being picked up on the side of sponsored by Rory, and it looks like the Zerg wave will be capped out at 100% in favor of OSD, but they still have 40-some% on the side of sponsored by Rory. So that is still something that will be needed to be defended in that top. But in bottom, this is, it's going to be definitely taking out quite a bit of the gate. The poke from Gul'dan is going to be quite a bit here. Pushing some of the members back a little bit, but at the same time there is a lot of good poke from Cho'Gall, which is going to clear out a lot of the Zerg wave before it can do too much damage. But definitely, I think they have the option to open this gate up so long as they're not pushed back too hard by the Cho'Gall, and it looks like that won't be too much of the issue. It's actually going to be diving out onto Kina there. Does have the dash out to the friendly team, and these Guardians will be cleared up by the rest of the team. Peeking into top really quick. Just looks like it's going to be Turtles pushing in. Actually going to be diving in onto Corgi Booty. Doesn't look like it's going to be for a kill or anything, though. Both teams, though, are just going to break off, and at this point, they're postured up in this bush again. Are they going for a pick? Because there's a lot of siege happening in bottom, and this is the thing, is that they've rotated 2 members up, and a lot of the siege is currently happening in bottom, and Cho'Gall does have vision. I'm just waiting. Like I have a feeling there's like a big fight about to happen, but it's just they don't really want to take it on the side of sponsored by Rory. They're just like, you know what? We don't need this. We'll just play safe. We don't need to do anything right here. If we delay this out, we don't have to, fight you without 10s, and that's a smart move. So we do see Avatar, Horrify, 7-sided, Tormented Souls, as well as Dragon Blade. Team going to be rotating up, I will assume, for this camp. Just pushing up the rest of that lane with it. Mouthy going to go ahead and pick up the regen globe, making sure that it gets that deny, as well as just also getting that for themselves. And it looks like these teams have broken off and kind of done the exact same thing, still soaking some of these lanes. Turtle's taking a little bit of damage, going to get stunned by Dammy, but not a kill to follow that up with. Now in bottom, Kuara going to be trying to sneak away this camp potentially, at least getting vision of it. And really quickly, just to run through the talents, we have, as we just heard, we have Curse Bullet from the Greymane, Twilight Dream from the Malfurion, Twisting Nether from the from the Gaul, Wrath of Berserker from the, actually stun going out from Dammy. There's a dive in, and there's a huge silence out from Dammy there, but he will be falling. Turtle's going to be taking a little bit of damage, but Coldam going to be the target of majority of that 7-sided strike, and the Dragon Blade does come out swiping, and so much damage is happening right now. Silent Shoe gonna able to get that dash through, and they wipe 3 of the members. Now, Cho'Gall has just about rotated up into his team. Unfortunately, only to find them decimated. Now, in bottom lane, it looks like Corgi Booty is going to be the one clearing that up. Genji going to go ahead and start this boss. Going to go ahead and get that deflect on it. You can already see doing quite a bit of damage. The boss will be probably timing out just around the same time as these beacons spawning, so that's huge for the members of OSD. It's going to buy them a lot of time to get some more pressure, as these members are actually just rotating back in, and I think they know, but it's not going to be enough. Boss is picked up on the side of OSD. Silent Shoe will be going back for Mana. Looks like Kerosene will be picking up this camp, and Damie's just going to be capturing bottom. Looks like Corky Booty has top, and they're going to need to go ahead and clear out this boss. Meanwhile, though, top was opened up a little bit in favor of OSD, so if they do get this 100% Zerg wave, it will be pretty beneficial for them. But at the same time, bottom lane was opened up a ton in favor of Sponsored by Rory. So, getting the Zerg wave 100% for themselves is a big factor that they need to consider. And Kuar going to be diving back into this fight a little bit here. Looks like they'll be giving that up, and the charge is going to be going back over in favor of Order of the Sleeping Dragon. Stun going to be going out from Muradin. A little bit of poke damage coming out back onto himself, but overall the Cho'Gall backed up, the Cho'Gall engaged, and they just backed right off. They don't need to take the fight. Plus, they're so close to 13. With that little bit of advantage, definitely will give them a little bit of a stronger fight here. But the other thing to consider is they're currently running a 5-man in this bottom lane. So Malthael, yes, could continue to get a bunch of soak, but overall they would just get pushed back, and eventually the match would be evened out. But Malthael currently in this top position. 13s were achieved on the side. Curse Bolt did go out. Malthael currently coming down. Dammy going to be going ahead and cutting most of the team here. There is the Twisting Nether does come out. I think it was already popped, but the entire team under this Tormented Souls is just getting obliterated. We also have the Genji falling, though, to the Cho there, but the Cho'Gall getting killed by Kerosene. And it looks like Corky Booty really wants that Gray Mane Turtle's going to be coming back a little bit themselves. Doesn't look like they're going to be re-engaging for that fight. And now that was a huge pickup in favor of the members of Order of the Sleeping Dragon because of the fact that this is 100% Zerg wave. The top lane's already stacking up quite a bit. They're already in bottom, and they've already wiped out the fort, so they can rotate or they can just continue to split push. And they've got two great options here, so I'm really curious. No, I think they're going to, most of them are hearthing to get back full. And it looks like they'll just rotate into the top lane. A little bit late. Some of their Zerg wave will get cleared out, but not a ton. We do also have Muradin currently rotating up, or at least providing vision of a potential rotation. We do have even talent tiers now on the side of Sponsored by Rory, so this is an even fight, but a backline currently being dove, and it looks like DB Smiley taking quite a bit of damage. They are trying to get so much damage out onto him, and he is falling low. We also get the Genji killed at the exact same time. 7-sided Strike going to be coming out. Turtle's taking quite a bit of damage, also popping that Wrath of Berserker. Horrify going to be coming out as well. Kuara taking so much damage. Going to charge in, actually. Going to be falling to, I believe, the Zerg wave. And this Zerg wave is still at about 25%, but those Guardians, they have some really, really good sieging factors to them. Turtle's coming out a little bit far here, but able to go right back through the gate. Now, can't really do that once again. Coldan potentially getting picked. Ooh. It should be able to Hearth. Not a problem. And it looks like with these Guardians, they're going to go ahead and get this keep. By the time that Cho'Gall's back up, they should be able to burn this down and back up. No, they're going to play it safer, actually. Davey really, really wants it, but no, it doesn't look like it's going to be happening. They mount up, and it looks like they will be backing off at this time. Now, they can realistically position themselves across the map to go ahead and pick up some of the camps in favor, just to create more pressure as this game goes on. But it doesn't look like they're going to be doing that. I mean, this camp right here is just, well, actually, every camp is just available. So it looks like that's going to be just, both teams are just going to break off and pick up their own camps. And so this is the one thing I was just talking about. So with 16s to 13s, you can to make that short rotation with a 5-man and go for, okay, so this is, I was just like, you have the advantage. Push onto them. The camp is leashed to them. They're going to be taking this damage. Twisted Nether coming out. Damie taking quite a bit of damage. There was the Curse Bolt that also came out, but there's a double stun that did go out as well. Turtle's going to be using that Wrath of Berserker, and we actually have Silent Shoe diving into that back. We have Twilight Dream coming out for the Malfurion, but there's also the Tormented Souls that came out from the Malthael there, but Gul'dan going to be falling very early. Genji going to be falling as well. Kino wants that kill, but it won't be happening. We actually have to dive back to Dami. There is the stun, but it looks like Kuara is out for blood. I don't think he has another jump over that wall, and Dami might be in a bad spot. It looks like Kina's the focus of this, though. Unfortunately, I was like, maybe he'll dash to the Cho'Gall, dash to the Malfurion. I'm like, he dashed and then got hit with a hammer, so it was kind of funny. I'm sorry. Sorry, Kita. That was just too funny. Like, he dashed forward and it was just hammered to the face. So, Colday, I'm going to go ahead and clear out this top lane. Doesn't get too much siege value. We actually have a little bit of a dive here onto the Cho'Gall, but the rest of the team is not too far behind, so they start to turn this right around. Corky Booty going to be falling very quickly in this fight. Dammy in a bad spot, able to leap right out without a problem, and it looks like they should be able to get the clear themselves. And this is going to be Beacon Face starting up, and I honestly gotta say, this is huge for Sponsored by Rory. They delayed this out quite well, because they was about 14s to 16s right at the end of that Zerg wave, and so in that time they made up those 2 levels, they got a couple kills, and they kind of evened out the lanes, they got a little bit of pressure themselves, and so overall they've really started to control this game in their own kind of way. It looks like Coldam is going to be retreating from top. They're going to get some charge onto this, but they need to make a quick decision here because this charge is nearing. We're already getting to like 40% here before you'll be even able to grab it. So it's going to probably stop maybe around 50. I mean, they're still contesting it, and they really can't get onto this. Maltheo are going to be rotating in top, but it's going to be a long walk, and this thing is going to be charged up quite a bit, and they're not going to need too much to follow up with that. Members of the OSD are going to get Silent Shoe, going to be able to get that dash out, but there is the Twisting Nether onto Dama here. Does he have he has the little Dwarf Toss out, shouldn't be a problem, so it's going to stop at 86% for the Zerg charge here, but at this point they're going to rotate up, it looks like. Corgi Booty going to be diving out onto some of the members. Dama taking quite a bit of damage. There's also the the Twilight Dream that went out, so he wasn't able to use any abilities on top of the Avatar form. So they get that pick on the Malfurion. That's pretty big, and I wouldn't be too surprised to see an aggressive play here, maybe? Nope, they're going to go into top. Going to go ahead and pick up that Zerg charge, as well as just siege into this top lane a little bit where the Zerg wave will be pushing down. Just really quickly looking at bottom, we have Turtles getting dove on by a few of the members there. They actually ended up popping 7-sided strike for that, but it looks like they get the 100% Zerg charge. Sonya died just to make sure that they get that charge, and 16 minutes in the game, this is pretty big. It's a pretty powerful push, and the other thing to consider here is that Murden is down. They don't have any pressure onto their core or anything. There's no catapults or anything like that, so they're going to play this aggressive, as you can already see. Banelings are going to get cleared out by Dawning there. They do get that fort, which is still just, I mean, the experience difference, though, is still just like a bottom level, which is insane to me. Murden is back and in the fight at this time. So it looks like we do have the full 5-man. It looks like we do have a dive onto the back line. We currently have Twilight Dream. Oh my god. Tormented Souls is going to be popped. There's also the Fear from the Gul'dan there and taking quite a bit of damage. I can't even. Looks like they end up getting 2-for-2 trade at this point, but they're trying to chase down the Cho'Gall, and it looks like they get the kill onto him. Sonya going to be back at this point, just clearing, I do believe, or maybe fell very early. I honestly don't remember, but with those members down, they should be making the rush for boss at this point. Now, without the Genji, it could be a little slow, but this is the time they've got to do it, and they've got to do it quick. This is the thing to do that will definitely put a lot of pressure, and you can rotate around the map at this point, pick up a bunch of camps. You're gonna make Sonya's life miserable. For the time being. I mean, there's 23 seconds on Cho'Gall, but this is a pretty big pickup on the side of OSD, and I really like this. But I really got to say that turnaround and that delay was so big on the side of Sponsored by Rory. They were trying to play that Zerg wave so slow, and I really liked it because they were just like, we'll play this slow, we'll let the Zerg wave do what it needs to do. Their Muradin's back, but they said no on the side of OSD. They said, you know what, we're just going to go ahead and fight this. Stun going to be going out and connecting onto a couple of the members there. They're going to disengage from this camp, though. Doesn't look like they want to give this over just yet, but at the same time, we have to consider that Cho'Gall is back. So they go ahead and they're going to pick that up. It looks like the members of OSD will go ahead and pick up this siege camp, as well as, I'm assuming, this Bruiser? Maltheo going to be soloing this siege camp and just creating a lot of pressure while the rest of the team is on map, you know, clearing this boss. They have vision of it, so they know that they can play aggressive across the map here. Corky Booty can take a little bit of time, but they could rotate on him quite quickly. We will see. I mean, it is... Oh... Yeah, he's going to have to give that one over, isn't he? But the rest of the team is going to be chasing this, and I don't know if they can... 20s are achieved. And they instantly back off. We have the upgrade for Horrify for Gul'dan. We have the rewind on the Muradin. Looks like Kerosene will be going into... Okay, Epiphany. Okay. I honestly had never seen that talent icon before. I believe this is the upgrade. No one can stop death. And then we also have the upgrade for Dragon Blade. So as long as he's swiping, that Dragon Blade is going to be active, and that's a terrifying thing to think about. Now, basically all heroics are off cooldown. We have a level difference roughly, but that is 20s to about 19. So this is not the really, you got to play this safe on the side of sponsored by Rory, and I like what they're doing. They're poking out. Dami going to jump in at this time. He will, actually they're going to be using the Twisting Nether, and it's going to be connecting down to a couple of the members, but unfortunately there's no huge follow-up to that. Curse Bullet does go out, but I don't believe it connects, and with all those out, they really think they should be turning this around and just diving right back, especially with Avatar being popped, but it looks like they'll just go ahead, back off at this time, rotate into the beacons, and just go ahead and pick up the Zerg charge. We do have a little bit of a fight currently popping up here. Cho'Gall going to be trying to charge in. Horrify is available. We do currently have Dami going into that backline. We also have a huge silence out, and Genji going to be absolutely annihilated there. But the other thing to consider is that they cannot stop death, and Malthael going to be getting that Tormented Souls onto so many of the members there, just melting them, and they just turn that fight right back around, especially with getting that Cho'Gall. Koldam going to be the target of the couple of members here, and they do get the kill onto him, as well as Sonya. They get the keep. That is going to be Zerg Wave in top lane, and it looks like this is going to be game number 2 going over to OSD. I don't know, are they waiting for the Zerg Wave? Well, they do need something to tank the core currently, and it looks like Murden just wants to dance. But this is going to be the Zerg Wave as well as the Minion Wave just currently popping up here, and that is going to be game number 2 going over to OSD. They're going to take both games, taking 3 points. GG, well played. And also, stay tuned. We're going to have an interview. All right, so let's go ahead and get somebody in here. All right, let me get a message out. All right, whew. What a great match, like. All right, I'm just letting them know. So it looks like we are going to be having Kina. So that's going to be Kina joining us in the lobby for the interview. How are you doing? And also, congratulations on your win.
Hi, thank you. Doing well after that game.
That was. I mean, that was a great matchup. Like the back and forth, honestly, between both matches was phenomenal. But I gotta ask. I know it was Corgi Booty playing it, but like I gotta ask, like the Tyrael, like how did it feel as a team? Because I only really realistically got to read the patch notes, eat dinner, and then I started casting this game. So I'm like, can you talk a little bit to like any of the synergy that you've tested with that, or was it just kind of like we gotta test it and we're gonna use it here?
To be honest, I'm probably the worst person to ask about that. I logged on about 20 minutes before our match. He did say he was kind of playing around with it all day, and to be honest, his main focus when he does the solo lane is mainly the melee champions, and we weren't too sure as to what could really beat the Zagara. So we thought, hey, let's try it, and fortunately it worked out for us in terms of team fights. I don't think Corgi was with us that often, not till the end.
No.
But I mean, it felt right. It felt right. So
it was strong, I really gotta say. And then I'll swap it over to something that you can talk about. We can talk about because you had. I just got a shout out to also Corgi Booty right now. He just followed on stream, so thank you, Corgi Booty. But I gotta ask you. So when that Cho'Gall got drafted, did that throw you guys off at all?
A little bit, yeah. I can't lie. We were kind of leading towards a medic pick. We were leaning towards the medic pick, and as soon as we saw that, we were like, all right, well, this has to happen. Maybe this will get me a little, let's say, studied by other teams, but they kind of let me pick my favorite support.
I gotta say,
100 plus K, yeah.
I gotta say, like the Karazim you played was just. I even noted. I was just like, oh, you dashed in and just like got like. But I also gotta say, like when that Cho'Gall cornered you and you dashed him and he hit you with the hammer, I'm sorry, I laughed. It was just too perfect because it was like dash forward, hammer to the face.
You know what? I was trying to bait it down to the bottom corner, pop a Spirit Ally over the wall. That way he wouldn't be able to chase me over a wall.
I thought you were gonna like try and do some weird double dash or something, and I was like, I don't know what he was trying, but okay, that makes a lot of sense.
The Spirit Ally wasn't. The wall was just a little too thick.
Oh, just
So
a little. She's a little too thick for you. All right.
At that point, yeah, I did have to try and get over, and that was a nice ult on his part.
But before I let you go, do you want to give any shout outs?
You know what? To our competition, we were looking forward to this game. Nice to play against some of the people that cast us. Obviously, to the team as well. To Shu, good job dying 6 times that game. Can't save you always. And you know what? That's probably it. I can't think of anyone else.
Well, thank you so much, and once again, congratulations on your win.
Thank you very much.
All right, so that is going to be wrapping it up.